Hello there, beautiful goddesses of your reality. Welcome back. This is Manifest with Jenny T. This is going to be my new business model going forward. It's that fresh that I've had to write this down. A true representation of my journey. When I found manifestation a few years ago now, that was a game changer for me. And since then, it's been a total journey of discovery, and I'm still on it, and it still amazes me. And if I can help as many women as I possibly can on their manifesting journey, this is exactly what I'm going for. So without further ado, I'm just going to read out my model, and you can see how excited I am. And then I'm going to talk about how it's been so applicable to me en route. And this journey is not a journey of something that's been intellectualized. This is a journey through discovery of a lot of pain sometimes, sitting in the pain a lot and knowing and having faith that believing this process is taking me to and leading me to a better life and to manifest my desires. And that's just not a play on words. When I say that, I know we use it quite gimmicky, quite maybe got sort of magical in some sort of way, but it hasn't been magical. However, it's been amazingly transformational within my life. And let me just read it out, and then I can waffle on further as I do. The A.L.I.G.N Methodology. I work through my A.L.I.G.N methodology, a grounded nervous system led approach to manifestation and emotional sovereignty. A.L.I.G.N is an acronym that stands for alignment, love led, integration, grounded, and nervous system focused, for sure. Through this framework, I help people regulate first. Extremely important, guys. Your nervous system needs to be regulated first and foremost, which I've always said to you anyway. But we can't manifest consistently with a dysregulated nervous system. Integrate patterns. This is the part that's so exciting to me, is to find out your patterns. It's been like a game changer for me to actually understand my own patterns and know that I can do something about it, because we don't know that we can change our mind. We can expand our mind. We just think it's out of our capability, and it's really not. It's really within our capability. And I know this because it's changed so many things for me, guys. And if I can do it, you can definitely do it. Trust me. And align their identity with the life they're calling in. So success, love, and purpose feel safe, embodied, and sustainable. I want to just give you a slight little bit of a backstory with me. So I went through anxiety and depression. I wasn't happy for the longest time. I was talking to my mom about this, and I was saying that I think my nervous system has always been dysregulated through my life. as long as I can remember. And the reason why I know that is because I no longer have that dysregulation living within my body. Somatically, the patterns are broken, and that feeling of being incomplete is no longer me. It's not part of my identity. But going back to when I went through anxiety and depression, and I was very much searching, and then it took me, down a path of nutrition and a lot of beautiful lessons learned from that part of my life. And then going through splitting up with my then husband, and being single again, and falling for someone that, and it not being the right time and painful, because I felt very rejected. At that point, that's when I found manifestation. And since then, it's not that I've really, what can I say, held tight to the teachings of Neville Goddard all the way through this and the law of assumption. I have massively deviated off, and I'm still there. I still believe in the law, but I've took a massive detour. And I make no bones, I talk to you about my love of Carl Jung, um, and and finding his work on integrating the shadow, um, and that has just been lock and key. Again, I haven't used that word for a long time, but lock and key to really identifying my core beliefs and my core patterns. And it's only been quite recent that there has been a massive shift in my world. And I want to get over to you what that is and how that feels. So I've been going through probably the most testing part of my life, in the last year and a half, say, longer than that really, but for a year and a half it's been. I can't go into detail of what that is, but anyone who knows my circumstances and knows me personally knows that it's been extremely difficult time for me. And with all the beautiful positivity I always put out, it's been very testing behind the scenes. And over the last couple of months, not only have I gone through such a hard scenario, but I also split up with my SP a couple of months ago, which kind of compounded that feeling of maybe being on my own, and doing this on my own. And just lately, that feeling of, I knew something. I could feel internally something was happening. Changes were going on massively internally, and I had no choice. Well, I did have a choice. We always have a choice, but I chose to sit in that space of cocooning myself. I moved away from the fast paced world, and I cocooned within myself. Just did all the self care. I prioritized myself, and I knew there was a lot of gunk that was still coming up, and I stayed there. I believe, obviously, I talk about it now very openly about God, um, my higher self, everything that is the great I am, the Tao, source energy, however you want to call it, whatever serves you to call it. We will stick on God. But God, and keeping my faith in that, and myself, the God within me, and the God that is in its entirety, the God of energy. It's just I can't describe the feeling of getting over that period, sticking with it, and then the feeling of sheer and utter relief to know that that pain and those blockages or resistance, and the patterns that were living in my subconscious mind are no longer there, and it's just such a relief. Um, there's a massive feeling within me at the moment where the only thing I can describe it as is expansive. Like, I feel like everything is suddenly become extremely expansive, and it's like nothing's changed other than this release within myself. Um, there are things that are changing because a lot of opportunities are now becoming present to me. And the other thing I want to tell you is when you actually get rid of the programming and the gunk and the former identity, the former versions of yourself, it's it's a feeling of the simple things mean so much. I it's almost like when you carry so much emotional pressure around from your nervous system and from this trauma that still lives within, and the patterns and the old identity. It's like you are just looking for dopamine hits all the time. It's a constant thing because it's the only thing that sort of almost takes the pressure off. And when I cocooned within, the dopamine, my dopamine levels really dropped, and it meant that what was there was surfacing massively, because when our dopamine levels drop, these things automatically comes up. And this is why I've heard Jim Carrey talk about this, and he calls it deep rest, because that's what it is. It's deep rest. So the dopamine levels really drop, and that's exactly where you need to be to identify this programming that comes up and the patterns that come up. But you have to have gone on this journey enough. You have to have sort of looked within, know the way this thing happens, to know that that pain that you're feeling is doing exactly what it's meant to do, to be released from the body. If we go into this journey, and we've never done this work before, we've never done the deep dive, we've never done shadow work, we can perceive this as doing something wrong, or it shouldn't hurt this much, or we have to start understanding and getting the knowledge of the way the somatic emotions, that the emotion lives within the body. It doesn't live within the mind. It's the body that keeps score. And I wouldn't understand these terms before I've actually gone through it, but it's the body that carries. This is why we can have anxiety feelings without even intellectualizing why we're having those feelings, and it's because it's the body that's keeping score. So when these emotions come up from the body, it's actually a sign that it's trying to be released. But if we don't know that, we perpetually get ourselves into bad scenarios, bad patterns, because we're trying to escape and we're trying to give ourselves those dopamine hits. So it's really, really important that we understand this. And this is where a coach like me can come in, and I can prep you for these things, and it's necessary. You have to understand you're worth it. You're worth it to be able to have that freedom. Like I was going to say to you, to walk down the street and have a little rapport with a butterfly, not that there's any around at the moment, and feel contented to do that within one's body. That is natural. That is something that we're innately born to be able to do. And then our circumstances mess us up en route. And so I want you to understand that it's almost like a simplifying um, notion of bringing you back to self to feel safe, to say, wow, like I never kind of realized that wall was so tall before. Well, it's a really nice tall wall. I know it sounds simple, but that's exactly what it is. It's simple. It's the simplicity. You don't understand. You're not chasing massive big hits all the time, but your mind has convinced you that's what you want. Women in general, we want to feel safe. We want to feel that we can have simple moments but just feel safe, steady and secure within our own body. And this is what it does, girls. And when you feel safe, steady, and secure within, that is when you can really start picking what serves the soul. And you've already been doing it. If you've been on a manifesting journey, you already know that your desires are given. But desires being given, unless you understand how to walk into those desires with exactly what I'm talking to you from a somatic point of view, or from a pattern point of view, that you're going to be in that perpetual cycle because you're not actually speaking the language of the brain. And so this is the crux of it, girls. This is the crux of it. So I want you to know where I am, and I want you to know that because I got rid of that gunk, then everything started flowing from there. And not only my business acronyms, but opportunities are just coming in left, right, and centre. Everywhere I'm going now, I'm having beautiful conversations that are actually teaching me things, new ways of looking at things. I've got the amount of my sisters. Bear in mind, girls, you know that I've been manifesting this, and I've talked to you about this before. The I needed to look within to see why my projection, it's because it was a projection of my sisters not loving me, was there. And I did it, and I've overcome it because the beautiful women that have been in my life of late, my sisters, oh my God, they've wrapped me up in cotton wool. They've been like, I've got you, girl. You just come back when you're ready. And taking time to be with me, to talk about being safe in our bodies, to understand each other. It's been next level. So it's all coming in, and not just that, holidays for me now. Everything is starting to turn around. This really horrible scenario that I've been in, which I can't talk about quite yet. I will do further on down the line, but that is starting to change. I'm starting to get the support around me that I've been wanting for so long. And so I'm just so excited. I'm excited about, I feel like I'm 21 again, guys. And I want you to feel this way. I want you to invest in you and see it through and have faith that it's going to be worth it in the end. Yeah, you have to sit in your own shit, guys. There's no other way of saying it. Sit in your own shit. You didn't create it from when you were a child, but however, you're responsible for your actions now. So you've got this opportunity to turn it around. I am, I have, I continue to. I'm not the finished article. Remember, there's a lot of other things that I'm still to discover. But this business model is definitely going to be my future. Align. So come and align with me. Come and align. Come and embody with me. I want you to really give that nervous system a rest. And girls, it's so worth it. It's just being able to have the biggest breath of fresh air and feel like so secure within your body. I want you to feel that. I don't want you to live your life in perpetual anxiety, being mistreated, thinking the world's out to get you. It's certainly not, girls. And we have an option. We can come back to ourselves, and we can come back to sisterhood. And that's what I want for you. I love you, and I'm excited to see where this goes. And I will see you in the next one.